You're watching the D on DTV. Let's go against Colleen Wieck. Today on my show, I'm talking with Dr. Colleen Wieck. Welcome to the show, Colleen.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yep. My first question, where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up on a farm, and it was about 33 miles southwest of Duluth.
Oh boy.
It's in Carleton County. I attended a one-room school, and then in 7th grade, I transferred to a larger school. We had the largest class of 75 people.
What university did you attend?
I've attended 4 different universities.
Yeah.
And I have a Bachelor of Arts degree, a Bachelor of Science degree, a Master's of Science degree, and my doctorate was at the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis in special education, and I have supporting courses in industrial relations and public affairs.
What advocacy are you most proud of?
Well, by decade, we could go back and look at deinstitutionalization. And so from 1972 until the year 2000, I worked nonstop to get people out of the major regional treatment centers or state hospitals so that people could live in the community. In the 1980s, I worked on employment issues. And the big topic at that time was supported employment. And then after the year 2000, it's customized employment. I also worked on family support from the 1980s onward. I was involved with the first home and community-based waiver, and then self-determination had a real beginning in the late 80s, and today it's called consumer-directed community supports. So I've been involved with the fullest range of disability issues for over 50 years.
And what do you think the future looks like for people with disabilities in Minnesota?
I think the future holds more inclusion for people. And so with the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, every baby born today has the right to live, work, learn, and be in the community alongside people without disabilities. Minnesota can improve our education system, and we can improve our employment of people with disabilities. And we can always help people live in the most integrated setting. And so think about the 4-person group home. We probably have tens of thousands of people living in 4-person group homes.
And they're full too.
Right, and a lot of people would like to move to maybe live on their own or with another roommate. And so we have some ways to go on that topic as well.
I think we need more apartment buildings for the handicapped around here that are more accessible and easy for me to get into. I'm in the building right now. My living room is nice, and my bedroom is nice, but I can't get into my kitchen so I can help my roommate cook.
Well, Dave, the Americans with Disabilities Act does provide some level of standards, but it's not very high. And so the push pads for the automatic door openers are not a requirement. They should be.
Yeah, I know they should be. But
and even with the standards we also have concerns about, in some cities, the building inspectors, I'm not saying St. Cloud, may not inspect and put in place the requirements, make sure the requirements are met. And so I agree with you, we have a long ways to go in terms of full accessibility. I think what you're doing with state legislators is commendable. And so the more you can interact with your state senator and your state member of the House of Representatives, the better. You can also invite U.S. senators and your U.S. congressional representative to come and visit. And you can send them letters, you can send them your video stories. Because
I'm gonna have to do that.
because the staff will watch. And they do respond, especially if you say, I'm a constituent. So November election is coming up, and it's really important. I hope you do a segment of your program about voting rights. A lot of people don't know that they are eligible to vote. And with absentee voting, you don't have to go to the polls that day. You can vote at, in a much more comfortable location than standing in line. So it's just a few ideas. There are people who can come and talk about accessibility standards on your show. And there are architects and so forth. I bet you do you do interviews by Zoom by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I can, Mike Nichols, who's in the room with us, has met this one architect. Her name is Sarah St. Louis. And so I'll bet you could ask her to come on your program through Zoom and ask her questions about architect standards. She has a wonderful presentation. So I would just, keep pushing on this issue. You can talk to your building inspectors here in this city and ask them about standards as well. There's a building code standard in state statute that rule. And so the building code often comes up for review, and people can serve on committees.
Thanks, Colleen, very much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure to be here.